My name is Maurice Aiken, and I am father.
I am father.
Back against the wall, head still high, push through it all. Father am I, lead by example, but still I gotta follow. Value your seeds, let's promise them tomorrow. Forever I stand, it's never to be a bother. Forever I'm man, forever I'm father. Forever I stand, it's never to be a bother. Forever I'm man, forever I'm father.
My name is Allen Ervin, and this is I Am Father. We're here to talk about fatherhood, my brother.
All right.
How you doing, Maurice?
I'm good.
Sitting here with Maurice Aiken, and a pleasure. It's pretty much a pleasure, man. How was your day today?
It was good. It was, it was good. I woke up, spent time with the family a little bit, and went to work, and now I'm here.
Absolutely, man. That's a great thing. Got to spend time with the family.
Definitely.
Got to do a temperature check.
Oh yeah.
and a pulse check.
Yeah.
Every morning.
Definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. How long are you married?
Yeah.
Okay. How long have you been married?
16 years.
How many kids do you have?
I have 4.
4 kids.
Yeah.
Uh,
I have 2 biological and 2 with my wife.
oh, okay.
I mean, 2 and 2. I have 2 step and 2 biological.
Okay. So, what's their gender?
I got 3 girls and 1 boy.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
How old is your son?
He's 29.
He sounds like the oldest.
No, we got a 32, 29, 20, 28, and 17.
And 17?
Yeah.
Oh man, you almost an empty nester.
Trying to be. No, not really, because the oldest one, I mean, my biological oldest is coming back into the house again. She got some health issues and whatnot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Your biological oldest, and what's the age on that one?
She's 28.
Yeah, but the 17-year-old is in high school, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And the only reason I'm keeping up with it like that because I can't wait to be an empty nester. I'm telling you.
You know what though? I used to feel like that, but I enjoy them as long as they being, being an asset to the house. I don't mind them being around. To be honest with you. I really don't. No.
Well, I tell you, they.
My wife probably feel different. But yeah.
Well, I mean, like I said, once a father, always a father, and I'm gonna always be a father. It's gonna take on a different role, and I'm just ready for that other role.
Yeah. I feel you on that too. I do. I've had little breaks here and there, so yeah. So it works.
I need to get my mindset right. I need a long-term break.
yeah. But it hasn't turned out that way. So I'm just trying to take it as it comes and just enjoy the ride.
Right. So what were the ages when you got married to your wife? Because you had to blend the family together, which takes on a whole new fatherhood.
Yeah. Okay, but let me back up.
Okay.
My wife and I used to go with each other back in. Excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you have to keep still.
But my wife and I used to go with each other back in school. So we had been friends for like 30-something years.
And where was that?
This is in Tacoma, or back in Seattle, Washington.
Wow, you came all the way across the United States.
Yeah.
What brought you over here?
Well, because back home we had, a nice sized house, but all the kids had moved out. Mm-hmm. And my youngest one was living with her mom in South Carolina. Mm-hmm. And as you know, Seattle can be quite dreary.
Okay.
So I was ready to move. Yeah, it rains, it has an overcast all the time. And I was just ready to move. And we moved to Virginia, but that didn't work out for me. And then we had a chance to come here to Georgia, and it worked out. Mm-hmm. And we've been living here ever since.
Mm-hmm. You're a Seattle Seahawk?
Oh, definitely.
Is the house divided, or your wife a Seattle Seahawk fan?
She's actually a Kansas City fan.
Oh my goodness.
I don't know.
I know, man. I know.
She might have to get replaced.
I heard that.
Yeah.
But let me ask you, when I say fatherhood, man, what does that mean to you?
That's something to me that should not be taken lightly. You know, when someone's calling you father or dad or whatever, that's a big role. You know, and to me, it really needs to be. I don't know the word, but if you're a father, just do the best at what you can to live up to that word, because that's a big word, you know. To me, that's like saying you're, a Christian. You know, are you a Christian all the time? Are you a father all the time? Are you thinking about your kids? You know, because everything that a father does to me affects the children.
I think that is definitely key. You know, and if the mom and the dad would understand as fathers and mothers, the only reason you are a father and a mother is because of that seed, then you'll be better fathers and mothers.
Yeah.
You know, because at that point you got to value your seed.
Yeah.
I think it's very important that the mom and the dad is present.
Yeah.
And the only way they can really raise is to really value that seed. Anything else is selfish.
Yeah.
You know?
Definitely.
Very selfish because, you came together, and what my understanding is 6 out of 10 is not really planting that seed.
No. Yeah.
So that seed did not ask to come. You're actually doing something that produces a seed based on selfish desires.
Yeah.
You know, and at that point, it's because of that seed that you choose to get married. It's because of that seed that you choose. Well, you're not choosing. It's because of that seed that you are a father or you are a mother.
Yeah.
So that's why it's important to value that seed, man. Both father and mother must be present.
Exactly.
Right? You don't have to be perfect, but you got to be present.
Yeah.
And you can't take it for granted. Because, I have a cousin now that's married, actually married, but fighting for that seed to live. And it's, I got a lot of respect for him, but putting up a lot of prayers that not at this point, their seed has made it to the other side. They're getting ready to take the seed home right now.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But it came out very premature, and we were all sending up prayers to make sure the Penelope make it to this point. So it's made it to the point where we see the light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah.
You know, and it's a great thing, but you can actually, you can start this thing with selfish desires. You know, started with selfish desires, but at the end of the day, let's see, trying to make it up out of here.
Yeah.
You know, and you are the mother, you are the father, and you got to be present. And so many parents just have selfish desires, man. Even from, I can go very far with it because, you got child support, you got moms that don't want the dads to see the seeds because they don't like who they with or they're not with. It's a lot of selfish desire.
Oh, yeah.
But what that tells me is they're not valuing that seed.
And I agree 100%. I agree with that.
Yeah.
100%.
Because that at that point, that seed that seed is struggling in a lot of different ways you know, even health-wise. You know, maybe struggling health-wise, and they got to get it right, but they can't get past themselves to even get it right. You know, and it don't stop there. You know, you get in your teenage years, you can get in your 20s and your 30s. That's still the seed that needs their mom and their dad in some kind of way. You know, but yes, it's very important that the mom and the dad be present. Speak on that a little bit, though.
Well, I got a couple dynamics. Actually, I got a nephew who my sister passed away when he was like 2.5, so he doesn't know her. And his father, you know, because we had told, because his father was living in Arkansas, so we called him. He said, okay, well, I'm going to come get him, this and that. And he never came and got him. So my mom and my sister and all of us, you know, just raised him. Well, when he gets older, his father starts calling, telling him that he has brothers and sisters, he wants to meet them. He never comes through. So, my nephew's 30 now. He just found out that he had the same cancer that killed his mom. So we were trying to locate his father. Come to find out, his father died 2 years ago. So he missed out on everything. I mean, luckily my nephew's coming through. Then on the flip side, my daughter's mother, me and her broke up when she was like 4 or 5. And when her mother had diabetes, real bad, since she was 2. So when we broke up, we were kind of sharing her, but she was mainly with me. So I just, you know, I didn't really take her, but when she moved out of her apartment, I said, I'll help. And when I helped, I just took her stuff to my mom's house, and I said, well, you know, we're just going to be here now. And she went off and did whatever, and we live in the same town, and, you know, she just acted like she really didn't have a child. So it's, you know, now you got the daughter who's mentally, you know, a little delayed, and later on she would end up getting the same diabetes, and now she's got she's got heart issues and this and that, and she still is mentally wondering, you know, what happened to mom. So it's like a double whammy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean, man. Because, and that's why it's important that the both of them is there some kind of way, because it's all lineage.
Yeah.
You know, it's all lineage, and it's important that that the lineage is intact as much as possible, so that can help you. Yeah. You know, one thing that I really wanted to do, and I'm still gonna do, is you know, take that DNA test to find out where my lineage come from.
Yeah.
Like, I have coronary artery disease. Right?
Yeah, okay.
So coronary artery disease is when you have plaque in your arteries. When I found out through a cousin that I had coronary artery disease. I had a cousin, I think back 21 years ago, that she started her State Farm business, right? And she was like, cuz, come on, let me give you some life insurance. I was like, you know, I had my own business. I'm like, you know, I'm always trying to help, you know, anybody in business. And I said, sure, right? So they came out, did blood work, found out my cholesterol was over 400. And she came to me and she was like, cuz, you okay? I'm like, yeah, what's wrong? What's wrong? And she was like, you know, it's almost like you walking dead. I'm like, what are you talking about, walking dead? And she said, your cholesterol is over 400. Well, at that point, really, I didn't know what that means. Yeah. You know, so I was like, I just keep working out, exercising, running every day. I'm pretty athletic. Yeah. You know, I change my diet every once in a while.
It was in the genetics?
It was in the genetics. and I didn't know it.
Yeah.
And even now, it's taken this long for me to realize that genetics are strong.
Very strong. Very strong.
I mean, you can eat right, you can work out every day, but if you ain't tackling the genetic, and it's hard to tackle that.
Yeah.
So my thing was, okay, well, at this point I got to deal with what I had to deal with. So at this point, I was big at smoking cigars, but smoke does not help coronary artery disease.
No, not at all.
So I had to change everything, and I don't have a problem with doing it. But one thing about it, by me being there for my kids, they're gonna know what not to do.
Yeah, exactly.
They're gonna definitely know what not to do. So that's just one reason that the mom and the dad got to be present.
I think that goes back to how people, like I saw this little girl the other day, and she was pregnant, and she had to be 15, 16, and I was just thinking, like what it was. I understand accidents happen. I get that, but like for me, my father had the fear of God. I feared him. To do stuff like that or whatever. So I never did that. But I was just wondering, like, where's that going to end up at?
Mm-hmm.
Is a little boy going to try to be a father or what? It was kind of sad. But I hope it turns out, a good situation.
Yeah.
But you really do need two people. You do.
You need it for a gamut of reasons.
Yeah.
There's I used to pray, there's a scripture that says that a good man stored riches for his kids and his kids' kids, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's like 3 generations.
Yeah.
So I used to pray that all the time. That's why I worked so hard trying to start this business, that business. Let me get ahead so I can store up these riches.
Mm-hmm.
But the older I got, prayers changed.
Yeah.
So now, Lord, not only can I do that, but let me be around so I can walk them through it. You know what I mean? Because that's what they want. That's what they need. Yeah, you're the richest. The richest in you. The kingdom is in you.
Yeah.
Right?
Definitely.
So let me be around so we can take advantage of that together.
Yeah.
Not just throw it up. Let me be around so we can partake in it together. But in the midst of that, I have to be around and let them know generational curses is strong. Genetics is strong. These are the genetics that I have, and these are the genetics that you got to watch out for.
Yeah.
So it's very important that, both of them are around, and the more that they are selfishly keeping each other away from that seed, the worse they're doing that seed.
And it happens a lot.
Oh,
it
my
happens
goodness.
a lot. I think my daughter was like 3. She was living with her mother in Vegas. And her mother was coming to Seattle for a wedding. So I said, hey, why don't you just, get her a ticket, or no, I said that I will pay for the ticket. Just fly her down here, so that way, we could, chill out and whatnot. No. If you want her, you're gonna have to come up there to get her, because the plane is booked or something. I was like, whatever. Anyways, I had to go to Vegas, and she was supposed to come pick me up from Vegas. She didn't pick me up, so I had to get a room there. The last second, it was expensive. It was like $150. Then she said I could stay on base. I couldn't stay on base, there was some training going on. I had to stay the night there. Long story short, we got on the plane, and she was sitting right in front of us.
Wow.
And now we, I done spent over $1,000. I was hot when I could have just spent the money on my daughter.
Mm-hmm.
And so I look, it's only monetary, but that was a lot of money back then.
Mm-hmm.
For you to be that difficult, I could have just spent the money on her.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just, I don't know. To me, it was just crazy.
It's a struggle, man. It's definitely a struggle, and that's the reason we got this platform to spread awareness. Spread awareness in a lot of different ways. To share testimonies. I think people overcome by other people's testimonies. So we got to get folks to talking about it, and the younger we can get this information to them, the better off it's going to be.
Yeah.
Just like I was looking at some statistics the other day. You mentioned 15 years old. Well, that's where the highest unplanned pregnancies are, between 15 and 19 years old.
Yeah.
If we can get them right there, then the 20s and the 30s and the 40s is going to be a lot better.
A lot better.
So it's not changing the world. It's not changing the world, but it's making a difference. It's progress.
Yeah.
And if we can make a difference in that age group, we're gonna be good. Gonna be good to go.
Well, all the time growing up, I remember when I was probably 14. Actually, 2 instances. I remember one day I came home, I smelled like cigarettes. And my dad didn't drink or smoke. And he said, you smell like cigarettes. I go, well, because my friend's dad smokes. He goes, oh, okay. Well, then you can't go visit them no more.
Mm-hmm.
He said, because I don't want no excuses. I don't know if it's you or it's them or what.
He ain't got time to figure that shit out.
He said, so you just can't go over there. And then, he would always say, hey, like if you leave this house, you are responsible for whatever you do. He said, and I'll tell you, you go out here and do something bad and it will come back to haunt you. And he said, because my dad worked at a boys' prison. He said, you start hanging around.
Juvenile?
Yeah.
Like a juvenile facility?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And he used to say, there's boys in there, they're spending years in there.
Yeah.
And he'd be like, so don't even call home.
Yeah.
He ain't coming to get you or nothing.
Yeah.
So, I think the fear part was good for me. Because I had an older brother who spent 20 years in prison. He just didn't listen.
Yeah, and that's important. Your dad knew exactly what was going on at that age.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you got to use every tool you have at times to I wouldn't say out trick the devil, but with God, just put the devil in his place.
Yeah.
And I used it a little bit myself. I had an uncle that worked. He was like a magistrate, work at juvenile. He was like a juvenile. What they call him? Juvenile. He worked at the juvenile detention center. And he used to come and he used to tell me on how the parents used to come to him, say, "Listen, we got to figure out how to get this dude right." So they'll take him, put him in the juvenile facility overnight, but book him like he's been booked.
Yeah,
right. And got to do whatever it takes, man.
Yeah.
Whether it's the uncle, the cousin, the auntie, or whatever, but you got to come together and do it, and if you got to do it as a family.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Like I was saying, man, I think, well, for one, there's no doubt in my mind that God puts a heavy responsibility on the man. He put that heavy load on the shoulders of a man because, they built for it. And I know, just based on listening to you and your story, how you have been been there for your family. And that didn't just come to you. What kind of foundation did your father give you? What is it that you saw in your father that really helped you? And what did your father do to really instill those things in you?
What's a trip is, I remember growing up, because my mom and dad lived together till I was probably 13 or 14. And then when he said, hey, you know, me and mom are not going to work out, so who do you want to stay with? And I was like, you know, I'm just going to stay with my pops, you know. I mean, because I was more comfortable with my mom because I wasn't that comfortable with my dad, you know, just to hang out, you know. He was more about just schooling me on everything. But he used to always say stuff like, you know, when you have kids, make sure you raise them. Not grandma, not the neighbor, you know.
Your dad told you that?
Yeah.
That's good stuff.
Yeah. And he was just a solid cat, you know. I mean, he was just solid. He used to always say, you know, there's only 7 real men left on this earth, and me and you are 2 of them. You know? but the crazy part because I have 2 brothers and 2 sisters. And the crazy part about that was that I heard E40 say that on a song. So I was like, wow, that was a trip. But anyways, come to find out, I didn't even know that they were my half brothers and sisters. So I was like 20-something years old. And I never saw him treat any of us different.
Right, and that was because of your dad. I was just about to say that.
Yeah.
Your dad looked at you, all his as the same.
Yeah.
And he did it as the same. Half brothers and you.
Yeah. I mean, it was crazy because I just never thought about it.
He took the responsibility on. You know,
Yeah.
he took it on head first, seemed like to me.
Yeah, he did. And he stayed, you know, in the picture until he was ready to go. And when he moved to California, he was like, you all right?
Mm-hmm.
I said, I'm good.
Yeah, I mean, I think he did it, man. Look, I think he lived the life of, listen, I was created for this.
Mm-hmm.
Not only that, his job helped as well because of what he did. He saw the juveniles that he was working with, you know, didn't have that in their lives. So
Yeah.
it was a great thing, and it sounded like a blessing to have him as a father, man.
Oh, definitely. My mom and my father. I mean, my mom and my dad, you know, but I like to be honest with you, I was happy about them separating,
Mm-hmm.
you know, because
Did you say happy?
I mean, not happy, but I was relieved because they were always arguing and, you know, it just wasn't good.
Hey,
So I was cool with it.
and I can definitely relate to that, man, because I know I was married for 15 years.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing that I didn't like is we argued all the time. And I didn't want, I didn't want my boys to continue to see that, you know, for whatever reason.
I know exactly
You know,
what you're talking
a lot of that may have been me. You know, a lot of that, I'm not saying it's no blame on each one. It's just we couldn't figure it out. And when we got divorced, it was like, you know, folks was going to be thinking, you know, what happened? Listen, we agreed. It just didn't work out. You know, ain't no blame on neither one. It just didn't work out. And we co-parent very well right now.
That'll work.
Matter of fact, she was like, I don't want to go through this again. I think you can have. It wasn't like I won custody. I got 100% custody of my boys, right? And it wasn't like I won it from a fierce battle. No, we agreed. You know, we agreed that I should have custody and I should be raising my boys.
Yeah.
And it was a great thing. It was like, listen, we're going to complete this paperwork. We're going to put it in the file cabinet to satisfy the courts. And we're going to raise our kids, you know. We don't need no courts to tell us how to raise no kids. I don't have our own child support. Ain't no alimony, none of that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We're doing the best we can do for the boys.
Yeah.
And that's how it is. And it's a great thing, man.
I respect that. See, now, unfortunately, I had to go the other route. I had to take my youngest daughter's mother to court, you know, because after that plane ride, it was still, she was trying to control when I can see my daughter, when I can, and playing games. So I worked at this job, and part of their benefit was that if you're going through something, that they'll help you pay for it. So they paid for half of the court fees. And so I just took her to court, and just to make for sure that when I get off this plane, my daughter's going to be there, you know, to not be playing around like that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, but it wasn't even necessary, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But I understand there were some hurt feelings because I was kind of, you know, I was kind of kicking it with my wife and her for a while, but I was only with her for 2 years. It wasn't like we was, I guess it is a while. I guess it was a while. But there's also a 12-year age difference, you know.
Yeah.
I was 34, she was 22.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so, you know, I guess I got what I got into it for, but,
Mm-hmm.
you know, but now it's working out. I mean, you know, because my daughter got to an age where she, you know, because I didn't say, hey, I want you, you know, she asked. She said, hey, you think I can come and stay with y'all? Because my wife now has always been in the picture ever since she was a baby. Because we broke up when the baby was 6 months old. So it's all I mean, it's all worked out well.
That's great, man. That's a blessing. I got a question for you though. So, what would you tell? So, right now, the majority of unplanned, unintended pregnancies is between 15 and 19 years old. The question I have for you is, what advice would you give that age group, knowing what you know now?
I would listen to your elders. Listen to your elders.
You got to.
You got to. Like my wife, she's a devout Jehovah's Witness. And her and my daughter, the baby, actually both of them, she has it in her mind, you know, she knows not only what I mean, because my daughter said to me, you know, one day I was complaining about her grades and she had said, Dad, you know, I don't smoke, I don't drink, I'm still a virgin. And, you know, and I didn't ask, you know, but she came out and just said that, and I was like, you're right, I get it. And so my wife has put that in, you know, that's a sin, you know. You're not able, you're not ready for that, and you're not supposed to be doing that. And she understands it.
Yeah. Well, I tell you this, man. Definitely got to be open. You know, I know, and for some time, you know, you think fornication is like one of the worst sins you can even come upon, but you can't put sin on a gauge. You know what I'm saying? You can't put it on the scale and it weigh more than this sin right here. It's all equal.
Yeah.
You know, and that's one thing I think you have to really be cautious and aware of as parents. You know, you can't look at this sin worse than that sin or any other sin that you've done. Times have changed.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you know, and but another thing what I tell her is, you know, I said there's a whole reasons for not, you know, doing it. You know, you catch a disease, get pregnant, you know, your life stops as it is right now. You know, because you got to grow up and do what you got to do. And I just want her to focus on herself right now. You know, and you know, I can't follow her around. You know, but I always, you know, just like my father said, I said, hey, you know, just be good and respect yourself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean,
she's
all you can do
has to.
She got to live that life.
Yeah.
I mean, she got to walk her own
she
journey.
Has to decide.
Yeah. Yeah, she definitely have to walk her own journey. And as parents, I mean, one thing that you got to realize is just that. You know, you got to allow them to walk that journey. And sometimes, you know, if you're doing the best you can in the beginning, you got to trust that that's not going to leave them.
Yeah.
You know, you got to, what I call in sports term, you got to trust your training.
Yeah.
You got to trust your training. But yeah, you definitely got to allow them to walk that journey and pray.
Yeah.
Because all you can do is all you can do. And when you've done all you can do, you gotta stand.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Thank you, my brother Maurice, for coming out, man. I appreciate your time, and I thank you.